Greetings to all tech explorers. Get ready to go on an awesome voyage through current technologies, heavy machinery, and amazing technological advancements on SkbDiary. The amphibious stretcher from Cleantech Infra is a special device with a 22-ton reach and an unending 360 degrees rotating stabilizing mechanism that is intended for usage in wide and narrow canals. It can float in water in soft, swampy wetlands where a traditional excavator with tracks or tires would get stuck. When extended, wheels give buoyancy, and when retracted, they serve as stabilizers. In addition to using its wheels to load and unload cargo from the trailer, the under-the-dredge excavator can independently slide down steep hills. Before the transportation of this massive load could begin, a team of experts had to carry out a detailed analysis to determine a suitable route on some parts of the route. Detours and temporary traffic routes even had to be organized. One look at these enormous tanks of a solar power plant, and it's clear that transporting them can be a real challenge. However, two new AO trucks with a payload capacity of up to 250 tons were able to cope with this enormous task. The size of the load was truly staggering, and the total weight was nothing to speak of. But the two impressive ACs with 6x6 wheel arrangement 6-cylinder engine and 425 kW of power did the job. The vehicles also succeeded in their mission by making use of a significant technological advancement that is ideal for this kind of operation: the non-wearable turbo retarder clutch. You see that the new trailer for different equipment is the flat CAT equipment trailer. According to Belmont Trailers, this model enables trailer owners to load and transport equipment that can present challenges in the modern world, such as equipment with low ground clearance, poor or non-existent traction, and equipment that is challenging to decline ramps or elevated decks. The Flat Cat trailer's distinctive hinged platform design facilitates the loading and transportation of a wide range of equipment, including pallet jacks, man elevators, scissor elevators, and roller compactors. Furthermore, the Flat Cat is perfect for moving low-profile vehicles like antique and classic cars. The industry's next-generation shear, the Genesis GXT mobile shear, is made for smaller carriers and is intended for more effective scrap processing. Lowering the one-time purchase price and the hourly energy expenses, the GXT model is a scrap and demolition shear that is shorter, heavier, and lighter. Because of its center of gravity being closer to the excavator, the model can be mounted on excavators that were previously limited to carrying smaller, less powerful shears. Camrock EK 140 chain cutter. For medium hard rock with a compressive strength of 15 to 60 megapascal, the Camrock EK 140 chain cutter is well suited for narrow trenches measuring 480 millimeters wide with an ideal wall profile. The machine exhibits high efficiency in situations where drilling and blasting are not feasible. The Camrock EK 140 chain cutter is ideal for excavators weighing 2 to 50 tons. Digging a trench with a minimum width, the continuous chain, driven by drums with cutters, automatically removes the shredded material from the space between them, saving on needless transportation costs to remove the shredded fraction and lowering the price of the bulk material. Additionally, the use of EK series products reduces wear on the driving gear of a digger. Big Float. With the innovative and distinctive pontoon floating undercarriage known as Big Float, your excavator becomes an amphibious vehicle, thanks to the Remu pontoon beneath. Whether you refer to it as a floating excavator or a swamp walker, it is the same thing. Your excavator can operate in the most demanding circumstances on soft ground or in shallow water if it is carried. The most effective machines are frequently floating excavators on pond chassis. Big floats can be driven on solid terrain as well, and with the right tools, they can even be used safely in open water. The Rockhun 8. Western Australia created the Rockhun 8 for hydraulic refinisher with the express purpose of boosting crop and pasture productivity and facilitating the repair of challenging soils. In most agricultural scenarios, the method normally operates at speeds of 10 to 13 kilometers/h and has a working breadth of 3 meters. With a refined Ator H4, which can work faster than many other deep loosening machines, farmers can normally work approximately 10 hairs a day. 3 to 5 passes are needed, but only one pass can be efficient when used as a deep loosener over tough terrain. The equipment is perfect for working in difficult terrain with lots of stones and stumps. Concrete Shear's Genius. The Genius can be swiftly utilized for demolition operations on the biggest projects because the Genius is easily disassembled and moved. This crane is incredibly ideal for major industrial and infrastructure projects because it can lift 16 tons of concrete and scrap shears. Its underwater capabilities allow it to be used for offshore and mowing operations at depths of up to 98 feet. These are precisely the kinds of advantages that are also welcome for projects in urban areas. It cuts heavy concrete structures, which produces significantly less dust and vibration, and its long reach means it stays in one place longer, less crawling, preventing vibration and wasted time. It works faster and safer as a result. The 85 Hours Pro Hydraulic. The unwinding device, auto stop, and clever 3-in-1 functions make the 85 Hours Pro Hydraulic Forestry Winch, which has a pulling force of 8.5 tons, simple to use via remote control. The window that folds grill simplifies transportation. The iconic winch design, with its robust build and small backstrap, guards against abrasion and facilitates use. Conversely, the 85 Hours model lacks an unwinding mechanism. The Knockbox Wall BW52 is a mobile flood protection barrier that is self-anchoring and independent. It can withstand water up to 50 centimeters high, and it can completely block pathways up to 1 meter high. Because of its lightweight, it can be quickly erected to protect roads and buildings from flooding. The barrier is intended to be used on paved roads and other relatively level surfaces, gardens and narrow walkways. Every single box can be made up of sealing, anchoring, and blocking sections. When installation, it is preferable to work from left to right because the barrier is constructed by joining each box with the one before it to create a sort of chain. July 2020 for installation. The first locally produced 2-story house in Europe was unveiled by Camp Southeast. What sets this house apart is that it was printed on a cobot using a stationary 3D printer on concrete. It is 8 meters tall and 90 meters wide. 3D printer model Pod 2. The printing process employed eliminated the need for form work, saving around 60% in material time and budget when summing up all the days. In addition to the fibers in the concrete, very little wire mesh reinforcement was used. It only took 3 weeks to print the house at Camp C. Avatech. The new TX remote control lawnmower with collision avoidance technology, incorporating a new 20 horsepower Kawasaki remote start engine and dual cutting blades, has been announced by C. Avatech, a company created in 2003. The TX44 is capable of cutting tall, wet grass at 50-degree slopes. In addition to eliminating the need for hydraulic oil systems and lowering weight and expense, the dual hybrid electric drive system offers a zero turning radius while moving forward or backward. The track-to-ground pressure is 1.16 pounds per square inch. Dual-powered road trains within the twin motor with payloads of up to 500 tons and an unlimited range. Dual propulsion, dual drive road trains drastically cut down on the time and expense of transporting ore from the mine site to the concentrator train or barge loading terminal. By lowering transportation and vehicle cycles, you can achieve higher productivity at lower costs, and the additional payload achieved with PERT is simply a game changer in terms of operational productivity and cost efficiency. Hesdwan Hoist and Tower Crane Equipment Company Limited is a reputable construction hoist manufacturer dedicated to offering the most comprehensive, dependable, and cost-effective lifting solutions to all of its clients. To this end, they developed the XCA 600 all-terrain crane, which boasts a main boom length of 344 feet and performs several times better than products of the same tonnage class. This all-terrain crane is highly versatile and can be used even in large wind turbine maintenance projects. The entire machine can carry the main boom superlift and heavy load transition, and it can also pass through lower culverts, making it more appropriate for urban construction projects. Wagner's L60 and L90 models are perfect for working in unimproved and muddy terrain. They also have the option of four-wheel drive, which allows you to disengage the rear axle when seasonal ground conditions improve, reducing axle wear and increasing fuel efficiency. Both models have four-wheel drive capacities ranging from 60,000 to 160,000 pounds, a rear swing axle, and a minimal center of gravity offset that stays directly behind the load, providing superior stability without losing power when turning like a large wheel loader. Economics in case of an emergency. A group of 2 vehicles and 1 van will be prepared to enter the 16 kilometers long FKA tunnel 24/7. The Matterhorn-Gotthard-Bahn vehicle is a complete system that consists of a passenger vehicle in coupled mode, a fire railway vehicle, and an ambulance wagon. Because the vehicles can move in either coupled or single mode, no locomotive is needed, offering greater flexibility and significant cost savings. The superstructure is a unique hermetic container that enables the evacuation of up to 60 passengers in a single journey, and the track's maximum speed is 50 km. Vehicles can proceed forward in either direction of the tunnel thanks to control posts on both sides of them. The purpose of the Howe Killer 1270 grubbing shears is to remove and treat biomass from huge stumps with roots. Additionally, this method works flawlessly with tiny and medium-sized stumps and other root materials. The technology is simple to install on any machine that meets conventional operating conditions. The amount of debris that needs to be delivered is lowered because stumps have been pre-shredded. A potential use for this apparatus could be in the process of shade stumps and recycling plants. Because of its sturdy design and use of premium steels, you may expect less wear and tear and operating costs.